Hello, and welcome to the Roundhouse Poetry Slam 2024. We're back. We are back here in the main space at the Roundhouse for this year's culmination of the Roundhouse Poetry Slam Championships. My name is Toby Campion, and I will be co-hosting you through this. Oh, thanks for the clap. My mum's here, everyone. Thank you, Mum. No, it's too late now, everyone else, don't worry. My name is Toby Campion, and I'll be co-hosting you through this evening with my fabulous co-host, Anita Rani.
Evening, everybody. How lovely, Toby, of you to invite me to come and join you on this stage, to be in this room tonight. Very excited to be here. Evening to you all 900 of you. That's pretty good. The largest audience that Poetry Slam has ever had, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, not just those of you in the room, but also everybody watching at home on the Roundhouse YouTube channel. How modern is this? If you are watching at home, we would love to hear from you. Get involved in the chat box. Tell us where you are. I would like to reach out to the people watching in Timbuktu or Abergavenny, both words that I enjoy very much. Yes, there you go. It's all about words.
Yeah, drop us a maybe we can read it out in the second half or something.
Yeah,
that'd
lovely.
be fab, wouldn't it? So tonight marks the beginning of the Last Word Festival here at the Roundhouse. If you don't know about it, basically it's a festival that celebrates poetry, spoken word, but also language more broadly. There's loads of incredible events happening. On Sunday there's Rap Party with Inua Ellams, live podcast recordings, performances, all happening till the 30th of June. So please do check out the rest of the programme and get engaged and get involved with what is happening. How are we feeling tonight? Audience, where are we at? How are we feeling? Give me a noise. Feeling... Did someone boo, or was that a woo? Someone's heckling already. Great, love that.
They're
Great.
drunk.
Yeah, get them out. Up top, how are we doing? Yeah, okay, brilliant. We've got some incredible poets for you tonight. We caught the end of their sound check, and they are absolutely fantastic.
Yes, they are. And how has all of this come together? There were hundreds of applications from around the country, then dozens competed in heats in far-flung places like Leeds, Liverpool, Bristol, and London. And then the winners and the highest-scoring poets are here to perform for you tonight at the Roundhouse Poetry Slam Final. So behind me, look at their faces, all of them. These are the best of the best. Come on, I think you can do better than that.
Let's make some noise.
Come on. Well done, all of you.
All looking fab. They've really turned it out. Outfits are great. Well done, everyone. You look gorgeous. Okay. So make some noise if you have been to a poetry slam before. Okay. And if this is your first ever poetry slam foray, make some noise. I feel like the second lot are more excited than the first lot. The jaded slam audience. Okay, I get it. Well, welcome one and all. So if you don't know what's about to happen, basically, you are going to be hearing two poems from each of the poets on stage, one in the first half, and then in reverse order, one in the second half. They each have 3 minutes to perform their poems to you. If they go over that, they risk losing points. If they go over 4 minutes, one of us will awkwardly...
I'm a good tackler.
Yes.
Kickboxing queen.
I'm not, shockingly.
No violence, sorry.
We will awkwardly usher them off. So please don't do that. We both find it very uncomfortable. So the poets will basically be coming onto the stage and sharing their hearts with you. They will be reading poems that they've written themselves, some of their most private thoughts and feelings, lived experiences, ideas about what's happening in the world at the moment. They'll be sharing their souls with you, basically. And our judging panel will then assign that a numerical value based on competition and capitalism. Woo! Yes! So the judges will be scoring from 0 to 10 based on the performance and the writing, with the understanding that really it's ridiculous to score poems and pit artists against each other. And really tonight is about showcasing the brilliant poets that are sat behind me tonight. That being said, back to capitalism, there are some prizes tonight.
Yes. Of course, you can't put a value on what's happening behind us, but you can, because we like money. Because when you live in London, you need it. Amen to that. So the third highest scoring poet will get £400. Second place, £600. Oh yeah, did we get a shimmy over there? Yes, I like it.
They're like, we're hungry, we're hungry.
And the highest prize is 1,000 English pounds. Big money. Give me a game show.
So we have the prizes, and we also need to let you know that there may be some swearing tonight. There may also be some content that you might find triggering in some way. So there may be references to subjects such as racism, sexism, violence, sexual violence, homophobia, transphobia, or things of that nature. And while we really encourage you to be present and stay for the whole show and lean into conversations that are maybe difficult or challenging, we also want to make sure that you are taking care of yourselves whilst you're here with us tonight. So if you need to leave at any point, get some fresh air, please feel free to do that. Outside of that situation, if you can avoid getting up and scraping your chair while someone is on stage sharing their heart to get your next glass of Chardonnay, that would be appreciated. So just wait till the interval or in between poems whilst people are clapping.
Lovely. Now, as you will have noticed, we have two brilliant BSL interpreters with us tonight. So please, can you show your appreciation for Ali Gordon and Peter Abraham? Woo! Very good. Also for our brilliant DJ, Joe Anthony, who is the Roundhouse Young Creatives. He's on the program. Where is he? He's not here. He's disappeared. He'll be back.
Well.
He'll be back. Let's show him some appreciation anyway, because he's going to be bringing the vibes, or as my mother says, vibes. Now, crucially, we have a highly esteemed judging panel with us who will face the unenviable task of judging these poets behind me. So, first up, let's introduce them. We have Inua Ellams. Now, Inua is an award-winning poet, playwright, screenwriter, visual artist, and curator. He's influenced by hip-hop, classical poetry, Nigerian storytelling. His work often explores themes of displacement and destiny, and he mixes the old with the new. But check this out. Inua's play, you will know this, Barbershop Chronicles. It played at the Roundhouse here in 2019, following 2 sold-out runs at the National Theatre. Yes. It was included in the Sunday Times Greatest Plays of All Time list.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And The Guardian's 50 Best Theatre Shows of the 21st Century. He is a badass. And I'm going to name a couple of plaudits that he's received that I know his parents will be very happy with. He also has been honoured with an MBE for services to the arts, and he has an honorary doctorate from the University of Arts. So tonight, it's Dr. Inua to you. Big it up, give it up, please.
Our second judge of the evening is the fantastic Cerys Matthews. Cerys, yeah, let's get a little whoop already, yeah, please. Cerys needs no introduction, but I'm going to give her one anyway. Cerys is an acclaimed musician, author, and broadcaster, rising to fame as the lead singer of the multi-million-selling band Catatonia. She now hosts and programs award-winning radio shows on BBC 6 Music, Radio 2, Radio 4. She runs a festival, curating and continuing to release music and compose for theatre. She's done a lot of things. I'm going to name a couple. She has published a retelling of Dylan Thomas's Under Milk Wood. In 2020, she had an album which was amazing. It was a combination of her 10 favourite poems with poets with a live orchestra. She won the St. David Award in 2014. We have our second MBE winner of the night. She was awarded an MBE for her services to music. And something that I've always really admired about Cerys is her unwavering championing of poetry and poets throughout her career. I think we all know poetry can get a bit of a bad rap sometimes. And Cerys has always championed poets and their work and their careers. So we're really lucky to have her with us tonight. Let's hear it for Cerys Matthews.
And last but by no means least, we have Vanessa Kisuule. Vanessa is a Bristol-based writer and performer. She's written for publications including The Guardian, NME, Lonely Planet. She's been featured on Radio 1, a little-known programme called Woman's Hour. Woo! I'm going to get you back on. And check this out. Glastonbury Festival's resident poet in 2019. That's a gig. In 2020, her poem on the historic topping of Edward Colston's statue, Hallow, gained over 600,000 views on Twitter in 3 days. Her debut novel, Neverland, will be published by Canongate next month. Very busy. Congratulations. That is a massive achievement. And in addition to all of that, not to put the fear up here or anything, because obviously we don't want to do that, she's a 10 times slam champion and won the Roundhouse Poetry Slam on this very stage 10 years ago. This year, she's returned to be involved in shortlisting all the poets and has been head judge across all the regions. So give it up for Vanessa. Let's hear from the judges, actually, because I believe you have a microphone. So what are you looking for? Not in life, tonight.
Hello, is that on?
Absolutely, Vanessa, we can hear you.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I recognize all your faces from the heats. I'm so gassed to see you all again and hear more of your poems. I want to see you be alive. I want to see you be alive up there. I know you know the poem like the back of your hand, but I think this is the moment to, like, forget it and then arrive to it. Yeah, this is such a special... I can say this as like a poet that's been performing for 12 years. This is not normal, okay? It's usually giving, like, you know, the back room of a vegan cafe to 4.5 people, 2 of whom are the sound people. Do you know what I mean? So 900 people, main house space, roundhouse, like, squeeze the juice, be alive to it. Even if you're nervous, even if you're shaking, even if you feel like you're dissociating a bit, I need you to come back into your body and just be in it. I don't want it perfect, I just want it alive.
Wonderful.
That's my advice.
There you go. Squeeze the juice. Inua.
What do I want? I want the poem to leap beyond language. And by that I mean, you know when you ring a bell and the sound drifts into silence, but there's something that takes in the silence but isn't noise. That thing, that's what I want. I don't know if that made sense.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. No. Or you know when you're in an airplane and suddenly drops, I don't know, 10 feet, and then your stomach is in your heart or in your mouth. I want that to happen.
Amazing.
Sorry.
Let's see. Turbulence, yeah.
Sorry.
Who wants turbulence?
I want turbulence, but soft turbulence.
With our seatbelts on, everybody,
Yes.
please. Thank you.
Soft turbulence, yes. Thank you.
Cerys.
Well, first of all, good evening, everybody, and it's so lovely to be here. Have no idea what's going to unfold tonight, and for that, I thank you all for bringing your artistry and your wordplay to us and standing on stage and sharing it with us. I'm really excited about it. Like Vanessa, like Inua, all I want is for the world to shift a little on its axis. That's all. You know, I know I'm Welsh, so forgive me, this is predictable, but Dylan Thomas said, "The world is never the same place once a good poem has been added to it." I want the world to be different after you've been on, each one of you. No pressure at all from the judges. We can't wait. Good luck and enjoy every second. Thank you.
The judges.
Okay, wow.
I think that's what we managed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Living-
just...
After you.
No, is it you?
I think it might be me.
Go on, then it's you.
So, Anita, we have introduced the 3 judges.
Yes.
But we also have a 4th judge in the room. Can we get an intrigued audience reaction noise? Well done, that's great.
Nigel Farage is...
He's got the milkshake. No, that is not funny. The other judge tonight is you, the audience. Yes. So at the end of the show, there are QR cards on your table, QR codes. Get your phone and you will have 5 minutes. They're not active yet, so don't do it yet, don't worry. But at the end of the show, you will have 5 minutes to cast your vote as to who was your favourite during the evening, who ruffled your poetic feathers, who made you think about something differently, who moved you in some way, who shifted the world on its axis. No pressure, guys. You will have a chance to vote. People at home, if you're in the camera, is that my camera? You will also have a code that will be put in the chat box so you can cast your votes from home. The votes will be counted and verified, and the winner will get £400. So it's a big responsibility. So feel free to make some notes, chat to the person next to you in the interval, but at the end of the show, be ready because you will only have 5 minutes to cast your vote.
Oh, exciting stuff. Okay, so it is a competition. However, tonight, I feel we are all in a very privileged position. All of you are incredible because you made a choice. You could have done anything tonight, but you made a choice to be in this room because you are here to appreciate some art and some words. Words that are going to be put into magnificent combinations, and they're going to make us feel all the feels. We're going to feel happy, we might feel sad, shock, my favorite, rage. And that's incredible, because all of them have put a lot of hard work into being here tonight, and we have the privilege of experiencing their artistry, and they're going to bring it. They're going to show us a bit of their souls, their vulnerability, and I feel we should all respect that tonight. And there's a lot of shenanigans going on out there, but in this space, I think we should have warmth, encouragement, joy. We should give all of these people the love and the support that they need, because it's going to be an experience for them. I'm not going to say terrifying. They're going to have a good time. So let's give them some support, because, you know, we can do that. Like, just look at your neighbour and give them a smile right now. Let's create a vibe in here. And so they can do their best and give us something, because they're going to give us a lot tonight. Yeah. All right. Can we actually have a massive round of applause just to give them something? Yeah. Yes. I got you. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna introduce, we need someone to warm up the space before we get started. Someone to warm up the judges, to warm up you, the audience, to warm up our poets. So we need a sacrificial poet who's gonna get on stage and do that. Before we do that, we're gonna repeat that one more time, your brilliant round of applause and warming up the artists who are about to get on stage. So I want you to imagine one of these young people has just got onto the mic. They're feeling nervous, they're feeling like they need support. I want you to use your hands, use your feet, use your mouths. What does that support sound like?
Lift the roof.
Okay. Fabulous. I think we've got it. I think we're there.
Yeah,
okay.
magnificent.
Lovely. So, who better to be our sacrificial poet than the... I know, sorry, it sounds very bloody, doesn't it? Our sacrificial poet than our reigning Roundhouse Poetry Slam champion, the winner of last year's Roundhouse Poetry Slam. Please welcome to the stage.
He knows who it is.
I know who it is. Don't be silly. I don't need to look at the card. Please welcome to the stage, Annabelle Fabian.
Woo!
Hello everyone. Hello. Okay, cool. So this poem is called Spoiler, I Am the Villain. I am not a beautiful woman. The private schoolboys in the staff room don't look me in the eye. They can tell I never outgrew my eczema. And I've never been to Central America, but maybe I'd like to drink spicy margaritas and have sex in the hostel toilets. I've never worn a bikini. Trini and Susanna told me once that they weren't for me, and I believed them. My boyfriend holds my stomach in his hands, and I don't believe him. My father calls me beautiful. I remind him that I let an apple core rot in my bedroom for weeks. It stained my carpet black and left a smell, but it lulls me to sleep, so I leave it. He tells me to lighten up and calls me by my mother's name, and now I think I get it. So this morning, I stood in the tinned fruit aisle of the big Waitrose and I made a bed, hurled my body over canned peaches and cherries and took refuge there. Posh people with posh corgis stroll past me on their way to the sourdough bread, thinking that I'd let them. But I'm a spiteful bitch, so I stole their corgi instead, ran with its writhing body in my hands, launching us both through the dairy aisle. I am bewitched. I am the poor guy from Saltburn, slurping up rich bathwater and stealing pedigree dogs in supermarkets. Except that guy wasn't actually poor, and the movie was made by the poshest woman in the world. And here I am, stealing this rich dog for some sort of reckoning. Because I fear that in here, I'm either an extra or a villain, and in this movie, I want to avenge my mother and my father and his mother and my teenage self who would hide her free lunch tickets in the inside pocket of her school blazer, who bought all her makeup in Poundland. She just wanted to be a beautiful woman. And I'm halfway through the car park when the dog starts speaking with my mother's voice. She tells me about where she always thought she'd be by now, in her own house, how she could never afford to see the world. She resurfaces a memory of her skipping meals so that me and my sisters could eat. I tell her I want her to eat. I want her to have everything that everyone else has. I want her to be a rich girl so that the world loves her back. I want us to be rich girls, to shed some of that weight so that we can breathe easy in and out with a happy humming waltzing on the exhale. Wouldn't that be beautiful? She tells me to place the dog down because your life isn't a movie and you are not this poem. She tells me that she has a small, happy life. We are beautiful women, baby. We always have been. Thank you, everyone. Good luck to everyone performing. Good luck.
Let's hear it for Annabelle Fabian. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay, are you ready for your first slammer of the evening? Are you ready for your first slammer of the evening? Make some noise for Eliezer Garay.
Yo. All right, sick. This poem is called Jesus' Snap Story. Mary _XOXOX. 5 minutes ago. R.I.P. J, the son, broken heart, dove, 100. What? I only saw Jesus just the other day, parting traffic tides atop Catford Bridge, raising open palms, turning loose change to Guinness cans. At the pulpit of Catford High Street, he preached of changes to come. As the market sang, revealed to us the good news in this borough of crown and blues. Money fly. A year ago for memories. Laughing emojis and the linings of a screenshot within screenshots capture our resident prophet. When a steel pan sound, when a Lewisham mayor who lives in Dulwich evicts the last true local, fire for them. Goldsmith's drama department will devise freeze frames to mark the moment in history, fire for them. Ravensbourne River will boil over. 3 hair shops, all 5 pubs, Morley's favourites melt. Hard liquor, chicken grease, soften free, drowning our streets. Headlines read, Lewisham flood brings fire to Thames. Judah 1, purple demon, smiling. A month ago. From spoons to favourites he haunts. We share E&J in a sun exotic, an offering to displaced spirits. I beg him, speak life and not death. He told me, shut up. I speak truth to make double shame. Ellie _Goray Cloud. A week ago. For now, Catford houses disciples of construction chimes and sirens. For we so love the ends, we give another son. Tell him to leave home so we may find it again. Parting prayers are exchanged through knuckles. Blessings for this bad man in Babylon. Ask him when he'll be back. He'll say, in a bit.
Let's hear it for Eliezer Garay. Keep that love going for your next poet, Zara Saher.
I was sat in the back seat of my dad's car,
or Yusuf's taxi, as his customers call it, stared out the window, thinking of how strangers fill my father's car with more stories and laughter in one day than I have shared words with him all week. His tasbih hangs off the rearview mirror, which he does not have to hold to do zikr. The sat-nav on his dashboard, an ornament. He drives past the pub that used to be a park he played in, and he smiles. He sees two versions of this town, one stored in his memory and the other muted on Google Maps. His customer stories leave a print on his memory foam seats, and his mind absorbs them too. He recalls them from the potholes and the traffic lights always green for him, turn red to hear him speak again. I ask my dad how he knows all the shortcuts of roads in towns I've never seen. He laughs and says, "Butter, you have a degree in English and I have a degree in driving." We pass the corner shop, the playground, the kid screams, and I hear, "I bet your dad's a taxi driver. Taxi driver, taxi driver." They run laps around the playground, closing in on me. I think of how they'd rather sneer a taxi driver than a profanity. As my words begin to formulate, they vanish like his diesel emissions. I say, "Yeah, my dad drives. He does do taxi. That doesn't mean I get free lifts, but all he does is lift me. It means I hid his job and livelihood in a cab-sized shadow of shame. I made him wait outside of parents' evenings and took my sister instead. Would have rather swallowed shame and guilt than to walk with him because his slight limp on worn-out shoes said more words in English than I could spew. And his English, I didn't want his English to respond to how well I was doing in English. But I would still chew and swallow the dal his money put on a plate for us. Could handle the curry but not extend a courtesy towards my father, whose back hurts often, feet are swollen, whose knees bend in salah but hurt in a seat. His hands grasp the wheel, white knuckles but palms still brown when they're cooked for pounds that'll create pakore. His hopeful heart waits for his kids to get a degree, so he can have a box full of baggage in his boot the next time a customer asks, "What is it your children do?" And his smiles are a sacrifice, his hands proud on the wheel that his fingers have molded to. He's not ashamed. He never has been. I carry the guilt he's never felt, and I am ashamed of ever carrying shame. So when I get this degree, I owe it all to you and the taxi drivers I had conversations with on the way to school. But I am proud now, Abuji. I know of the times you were called instead of an ambulance, how you faced black eyes by bastards because you had kids to come home to. I am sorry that I wrote poetry about rickshaws, using adjectives to boast about their colors, yet I have failed to write about a taxi. But Dad, I am proud to be a taxi driver's daughter, and I tell every Uber driver that my dad does taxis too, and they feel at ease because I don't care whether their kids have degrees. I just like knowing my dad does taxis, and that is enough conversation for me. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Zara Suham. Keep that love going for your next poet, Tatenda Machai.
Hi. Friday fight. I wake up, dread snaking between my shoulders. Try shake it. Feel my chest grow tighter. Press play. Mustering the strength to fight. Flinching as I fast forward through kick, dip, lunge, sweat, and quivering legs. Tell my own you can do it with the certainty of a brick. Round one. The living room is the ring. Dread rolls in, heavyweight champion hanging off its hip. Unceremoniously, I trip. Sean T catches me through the screen, muscles bulging from his vest, says, "Stand up." Dread throws the first punch. Sean T yells side to side floor touch. I bob and weave, dodging Dread's blows. My hands needles, abs stitched to spine. Dread unable to land a single blow. My brain too sweaty to touch my pretty head. The bell rings. We return to our respective corners for recovery. I can barely breathe. Sean insists I drink, raises cup to my lips. I hack, glug, spit, wipes the sweat from my eyes. I'm counting on you. Round 2. Dread comes back twice as big this time, making the ring tight. I jump, slap back, jack Dread again and again till my legs are trembling. Come on. Fight. 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 I hit the floor slower. The crows have started taking bets. Dread on me again. No iron in my legs. Excuses on my tongue. I try to dig deep to find something to hold on to. Dread claws at my calves, makes me a cold clump on the living room floor. Bell rings. Round 3. I stumble back to a restaurant menu, make a decision quick. I pick up the phone call. I leave the house on time. I leave the house full stop. I leave in the first outfit I put on. No nervous panic at the phone call. I keep my word. I say how I really feel. Make any decision. Reply to the family group chat with, "Happy birthday," even if it is 3 days too late. I feel no shame. I say how I really feel. I feel my knees. I feel really strong, even when I'm shaking. They can't hurt me now. I fell once. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Tatenda Machai. Keep your luck going for our next poet, Inua Ellams.
I like to keep 23-minute escapes in my pockets. A little place where everything is that fairy tale, fanfic kind of happy. So I've been watching The Nanny recently. It's this silly 90s sitcom, and I know sitcoms are kind of shallow, but it's starting to make me think that I want to be loved like a sitcom character. There's just something about a world where everything is always okay 23 minutes later, no matter how badly you fuck up. I promise I don't want to be a problem or any inconvenience. It'd be nice if I could just, I'm always so careful, so precise and polite, but just this once I think it would be nice to show up to a black tie event in bright gold lame tracksuit bottoms and eat spaghetti with my bare hands. I want to make myself the center of the worst attention. I want to make the wrong jokes and slag people off to their face and really ruin any chance of them ever liking me again. And then, although it seems like this should have ruined my life, somehow it all just feels like a Tuesday afternoon. I want to be a profound waste of money. I want to break expensive vases, spill red wine on white carpets, and lose rare books and checks and diamonds. And I want to have some job where I show up every day, do nothing, and I'm just generally a complete disaster, but somehow they never fire me anyway because somehow I'm just too important to lose. It's like I'm so tired of thinking about my hair, I want my hair to be sitcom pretty. Just this ordinary perfect where my clothes always fit me and my shoes are so clean, like the counters on my kitchen. I want to be a place where everything is always beautiful enough, where dirty mugs vanish like the 23-minute spots on my face. I love this world where problems never stay. But none of that would matter anyway because people will fall in love with me head first in the dirt, tangled in dog leads and garden weeds, and they'll see every flaw spread across billboards, and everyone will know, the world will know, and they'll still irrefutably, unconditionally love me. And together, in our sitcom house, in this sitcom city, my mum's, the park, the cafe are all just a simple cut screen away, and the people I love come through the door to applause every day. And sure, the jokes change, but the things that matter always stay. I want to be the Fran Fine kind of fairy tale fine where everything is always exploding in messy and annoying and embarrassing and too much and too loud and too soon, and yet it is sacrilege to change any of the things about me that make me annoying because those are the reasons they love me. I want to be able to live so loudly I break every window of every city in the world, and it's okay because they never stop loving me.
For Inua Ellams. Keep your love going for our next performer of the evening, Bradley Taylor.
This is called doom scrolling through Instagram at 4:02 a.m. again. Jimpic, Jimpic, Jimpic dog. Jimpic, 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 independent business closing down due to financial crisis. Inspirational quote, Joe Rogan quote. Jimpic, 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 infographic, dying planet. Dickhead with mommy issues. Influencer paid to advertise sex toys alongside Jimpic, 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 Be-real, 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 dying planet, Nigel Farage assassinated by milkshake, easy cooking recipes for one that you'll never use, a photo from the 90s when everything was great, Jimpic, 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 Epstein's List, Amy Winehouse biopic, Jimpic, Jimpic, family pic, video from a gig that you missed, recommended posts that you think, oh, actually that's it's quite interesting, thank you. How the fuck did you know that? Jimpic, 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 dying planet, infographic, and half of our current government are literal criminals. Comments on this post have been limited. Vote them out. Endless war. Comments on this post have been limited. AI-generated Wes Anderson, Schindler's List. AI-generated Wes Anderson, Harry Potter. Fuck you, JK. Love you, Daniel. AI-generated performative infographic. AI-generated Frida Kahlo. AI-generated family pics, Pedro Pascal. Jacob Elordi. Hunter Schaefer. And then Piers Morgan with a headline that you want to click. Meet and greet in Coventry with Martha from Baby Reindeer and all those millionaires in a submarine. Fucking great idea. Kitten pick, kitten pick, kitten pick, cat and pick. Rest in peace. Childhood dog. Kendrick's got beef with a well-known nonce. BBL, Drizzy, the Roman Empire, the Roman Empire. What's your Roman Empire? I kissed a girl. Jimpic, 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 Jimpic. Taylor Swift serving cunt at the Super Bowl. Taylor Swift jetting around the whole wide world. Taylor Swift releases an album that's... It's all right. It's okay, do you know what I mean? But the Oompa Loompas running rampant round Glasgow, get that one girl an acting job pronto. Jimpic, 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 infographic, family pic, Jimpic, 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 blood, dick pic, Jimpic, and then your friend, who you forgot to reply to again. And the King's enlarged prostate lingers over the BBC News. Comments about me, comments about you. It's Meghan's fault, it's Meghan's fault. Good representation in Hollywood. What's that kid from Stranger Things said again? And then your friend, who you forgot to reply to once again. And the cheddar cheese is security tagged in Tesco, and all the rich white kids go, Jenny Lecky, Jenny Lecky, Jenny Lecky, Botty B, Cozzy, Livy, Cry, Dry, Jan, Wet Leg, whatever happened to them, eh? Just another industry plant, just like the last dinner party in Troy Sivan. Have you seen my houseplants, by the way? Dying planet, dying houseplants. See my 18+ content here, username 247012182400000. It's your friend, who you forgot to reply to once again. Stop scrolling. Reply to the friend. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Bradley Taylor. Keep that look going for your next poet of the evening, Ray.
Yeah. Trigger warning for death but not dying. Welcome to the Ark. Rites of passage to exit. When my bones are left behind and the dust has done everything but settle, who will know I was black? How will they decipher it when I am fresh past the point of rotten, left long, white, thin, considered precious artifact, perhaps, collection behind glass? Break me out and toss me into the sun so I can remember what it felt like to darken. When I am bones, when I have aged out of myself, who will know I was black? Who will know I'm black when I'm dead, and who will be telling who about it and why and how, and who will know I'm black when I'm dead, and whose tongue will be rolling me in my grave, and who will know I was black and here and happy and there and black, and who will know I'm black when I'm dead, and who will be angry on my behalf, and who will be shouting about it, and whose tears will be watering my flowers, and what will it mean for how my bones will be hauled or healed? I hope my bones are somewhere interesting. I hope they're having a good time, holding up nothing and no one. Here is a small yet incomplete list of things my bones could end up as: an ornament, a straw, a vessel for thought, a foundation for imagination, a weapon, a tool, a drumstick, the drum, a fidget toy, a sex toy, a Jenga block, a motif, a symbol, a hollow thing filled with air and memory, a convoluted obstacle course that historians might label as a mediocre art piece or a horror show, and people will step over me, slip under me, twist around me, and who will know I was black? How will they know I was executing it in capital letters?
Let's hear it for Ray. We are halfway through the first round. Audience, how are we feeling? Feeling all right? Yeah. They're fucking good, aren't they? I told you. Okay. Judges, how are we doing? All good? Okay, great. Can we all take a deep breath in together? And back out. Okay, and welcome your next poet to the stage. Please give all of your love to Matt Sowerby.
Oh, oranges. Odes to teeth that pull, to pip-spitting lips. Oh, tangerine. Oh, mandarin. Oh, clementine. Zest, colouring, bursting, everything rolling across the supermarket floor. Skin, a sea of pimples, pop them. Oh, smell lingering. Oh, fingers sticky, lick them. Still there. Suddenly not so fresh. My friend has an orange in the shower when she's sad. She peels it, she discards the skin in the sink, bites into it like an apple, lets the chilled juices wash over her. She washes herself in orange like sticky sweet lava. Oh, Satsuma. Prerequisite to the lunchbox, am I right? A puzzle box plaything turned compulsion. Big toe to the Christmas stocking. See if you can peel the whole thing in like one piece and then cut the skin in your hand as if it's still got fruit inside of it. See how inside each segment is a forest of tiny juice-filled water balloons. Pick them individually, squish them on your tongue. See if you can pick away all the white stringy bits. Hold a segment to the light, a crescent moon. See how many segments you can fit in your mouth every day, your entire childhood. Measure your growth like this. Bite down, explode. Oh, Aldi oranges snared in a red net in the back of my cupboard, greening, greying, rotting, souring, dusting from the point of purchase. Oh, blood oranges, meatiest of fruits, insides dark and guilty, globules of tender, nebulous flesh, perfect fit for a hand, like a heart. Pomegranate red, tantalizer, murder in the fruit salad. The first bite is always the best. Did you know that tattoo artists practice on oranges because the peel is the closest thing to human skin? Feel my arm. Picture me, an orange, ready the needle. Oh, cara cara, the navel orange, heavy with second fruit. Oh, orange, orangest orange, redder than red. Advert fresh. Orange in your sting on my cut lips. Orange in the ache of a word like orchard. Orange in its feel, plucked, forbidden. The two of us, orangutans, mindful of the dogs.
Let's hear it from Matt Sowerby. And welcome your next poet to the stage, Jenny Lee.
I read a poem someone wrote once that said she was carrying around a poem in her head and trying not to spill it. And I remember I didn't get it. She described it like a bowl of soup, and I was confused. A poem is not soup. How do you spill a poem like this? I have half-formed poems playing on my lips, always muttering half-rhymed couplets, thinking maybe I should write that down, but also maybe I shouldn't. Because as long as they stay in the space between my teeth and my lips, then they still have the potential to be not shit. My words always look so empty written down. They never read the same way as they feel in my chest, where they're messy and knotted and unfinished and all the themes are uncohesive. But when I try to detangle them and line them up neatly into evenly stacked stanzas and rhyme schemes, I suddenly feel like I'm lying. Do you get what I mean? Do you follow what I'm saying? Because sometimes I talk too fast and I sound kind of manic. I always do this when I'm panicking. I think it's because thoughts are coming too quickly, or maybe because I'm just trying to say as much as possible to give you all the information so you can understand me. I would really like it if you could just understand me. There is static in my skin, and at times like this, I just need to leave because I just need to breathe, but I can't when I can see you seeing me, oscillating, toggling between operating systems. How are you doing? I don't know. Please don't ask me difficult questions. Sorry, I just need to go to the bathroom a minute, and then I can hit myself in the head without anyone asking what's wrong, because if I could tell you what's wrong, then I wouldn't be hitting myself in the head, but instead I leave. I put my headphones on, turn the volume up, and I listen to heavy metal, because when the singer screams, I can feel the vibrations. And it doesn't exactly settle me, but at least it's at the same frequency. I'm so tired of trying to use words to make you feel the way my chest hurts, of looking for the right way to describe the blue walls of the bathroom stalls I always find myself hiding in. There's this one in my building that has a skylight above it, and the light makes the space feel reverent. And I feel like I should try to find a more relatable description, but I can't. You all feel so far away. And I fill the space between us with words to try to bridge that distance, but it doesn't work. So I think about rewriting the poem again, as if that will make a difference, as if the right combination of words will make you hear the poems in my head, but it won't. It just spills them. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Jenny Lee. Keep that love going for your next poet of the evening, Inua Ellams.
The prayer your father taught you, still ripe on your tongue. We've fallen into silence. A pause in the rhythm undercutting the living room conversation. It is the certainty and repetition of a doom-tak beat. Prayer, the story of how you left your village and the birds. You point to them, your finger bent with the weight of age. The glimmer in your eyes pulls them out from beyond the sky. It is a flock of bluebirds, or seagulls, or pigeons. It doesn't matter. I can't see them the way you do. They make you happy, in wonderment. You ask where your siblings are, and I wish I knew them. I am learning the words to your father's prayer. There is a rhythm undercutting the living room conversation. And since we found it on Spotify, you've added a refrain to follow on from Amen. How perfectly it rhymes, this verse about figs and air conditioning on the bus and your mother's eyes. Higher, higher, your knees tremble with dance.
Let's hear it for Inua Ellams. Keep that love going for your penultimate poet of this first half, P.A. Bites.
This poem is called Drapetomania, and it's inspired by the condition that they gave enslaved people for running away I truly believe we live in a sick world that tries to label people when really there's nothing wrong with us. So, Droptomania. Fee, fi, fo. I beat Goliath in one blow. Philistines got guns but no ammo. Remember the Pharisees called themselves holy, but it was all smoke. They put divinity on death row. I can't forget what Belgium did to Congo. It's etched into my frontal lobe. Rest in peace, Patrice. Cosmic Negro, my hero. I know I inspired Picasso. My poems prick hearts like needles. I bite back at patriarchy because he's evil. Love should be our fuel, yet we're raping our mother for coal and diesel. I'm smoking a bushfire while the ocean's nausea swelts the sea foam. This got me musing on the nature of power like Foucault, men in suits, slipping through discipline and punishment loopholes. My tongue is my pistol, so I don't answer to wolf whistles. So a homeless man died by the needle. How can money and love ever be equal? Sickle cell, but my words are chemo. Princess of peace, only pure hearts are my equals. Never live in bad faith. I'm in love with every line mark and crinkle, every secret, every thought, a time capsule. I learned everything I know from Queen Sappho. Excellence is in my genome. Always on the peak, I can't plateau. Even when patriarchy stalks me on the way home. Come too close and I'll capture you like Calypso. Love of my sisters, mahogany or redbone. I don't believe in division or status quo because people will hate your vocals when they can't hit a note. They say the black sheep always becomes the goat. It all makes sense now, why it never did, why everyone who hurt me fell off the grid, half-baked like kids in amniotic fluid. Across from silicon is skid, carnage and sewage. It's sick. All the power we give to the rich. They're the pimps and we're the tricks. We have an Amazon website and a dying rainforest. No wage upturn, but Boris is cutting universal credit. Too much nepotism, senseless powers politicians inherit. Matt Hancock was getting head while asking the public to grin and bear it. Zoom funerals, the evidence that the establishment is an embarrassment still. I got new war joy, everlasting and ungiven, so no man can destroy. I'm at the pinnacle and it's still not my highest point. I don't trust pigs, agents of conflict that go oink, oink, oink. I'm living in God's manuscript, so I must rejoice, joyce. Life is like Ulysses, James Joyce noise. You can't steal my spirit or chain my voice. Poetry chose me. I didn't have a choice. I carry my slingshot, so talk to me nice. Fee, fi, fo. I beat Goliath in one blow. Thank you.
Let's hear it for P.A. Bites. And give the same level of energy and love and support for the final poet of the first half that you gave to the first. Let's hear it for Raina Graper.
Content warning for violence. Revenge poem. In this version, I see him at a restaurant, sat as unsuspecting as a rabbit heart. We are both surrounded by people with lovers whitening their teeth. I've spent the year looking like a death left uncrushed. And he is here with all the ease blood could not buy me. I've learned better than to leave the house like an easy word. And this time I can spell his face out. I remember his name and how he swaddles it in his tongue. This time the restaurant leaks nasty red like a guillotine, unafraid of its job. And the waiter, well, well, the waiter has gifted me this small pitchfork. Now, I'm not always right, although I often think I am. But why would I be sat here like a mercy-perched dog? And why would I eat my asparagus, my carbonara, in this economy of overpriced therapists and bad sex? I hack his neck in the same place he gave me a hickey. I disembowel his indifference. While everyone else is eating their entree, I am ravaging his two unblemished hands. Most evenings, I let him ring in my ear like a petulant hummingbird. But tonight, I've ground up my anger and I scream from the belly of that restaurant floor, "You will remember what you did to me." I drag him through the backwash of last week's sobbing. I scrape him against the worst bits of me, which are also the worst bits of him. I am like Hestia, engulfed in fire. I am like Cerys, turning men into swine with the twist of a butcher's knife. I was hung out of hell like Medusa's neck, cradled myself until the ringed knots in my marrow turned to serpents. I am that bitch, walking past night until it looks like the barrel of a mountain. I am happy with the simple things. A clean blade, a nice dress. Thank you.
All of you, well done. Well bloody done. I am in awe. Incredible stuff. Thank you. Just thank you. There's more to come. The votes aren't open just yet. Before the interval, we are in for a real treat. We're going to hear from one of our judges. Also, after that, a short film made by participants of the Roundhouse Behind the Lens programme will be shown. Before we bring him to the stage, I want to let you know about Inua's own festival that's happening this weekend. It's called the O5 Fest. Can we just give him a cheer? Because he's bringing... Can you also get tickets, please? It's taking place this weekend here at the Roundhouse. It's part of the Last Word Festival. Get all the details via the Roundhouse website. Book your tickets. It's going to be brilliant. Do it before you leave the room. Do it because you feel so inspired that you want more. Shall we hear from one of the judges? Shall we hear from the great Inua Ellams? Round of applause, please. After Inua, we'll go into the interval. Here he is, Inua Ellams.
Could we have a round of applause for these guys, by the way, for your amazing talk? Thank you. Once again, we are surrounded and we have to choose between ineffective politicians in America and here. And the poem, this is my last book, is called The Actual Fuck, but I couldn't print fuck on the book, so I just have fuck redacted 55 times because there are 55 fuck poems in the book. But the poem that inspired all of this was called Fuck Donald Trump. And my friend said, you know, I shouldn't publish his name on my book because he's who he is. So I called the book Fuck 45 because it was the 45th president of America, and tried to write 45 poems, but I wrote 55 because I was really angry at various things. So I'm going to be reading 3 short poems. The first is Fuck 45. The second is Fuck 76, which is Theresa May. She was our 76th prime minister. And then Fuck 77, which is about Boris Johnson. Anyway, you get it. So I'll start with Trump. Fuck 45. Though you've held his nicknames like bullets in your throat, Adolf Hitler, though you've loaded each chamber, Grabber the Hutt, cocked back your tongue, dubious Caesar, and let each shell blast the frustrated silence, Herman Mao. Though you are ever gun ready, good to shoot from the hip, and the crew you roll with always come correct. Herr Hitler, Genghis Khan, Vanilla Isis, Toupee Fiasco, Clickwork Orange. Though you chorus these forthright as Baptist hymns, making fellowship and communion of collective laughter, it's the night crossing the odd part of town in another country, a world away, on a street ravenous as morgues. A barefooted, dead-eye white boy calls you nigger, as if a fact, as if their birthright. You learn the futility of laughter, its porous shield that words can slip through, can still break you, its power affirmed, let loose in the wild. And this too, Trump has done. Thank you. Poem 1. Okay. Fox 76 about Theresa May, who famously said she wasn't a feminist because she doesn't hate men, which was, This poem is an appreciation of all the other Theresas in my life. There is the poet Teresa L., who is half quantum furnace, half amazing. The social worker Teresa I., whose laughter is a coven of skinny dipping witches. The field hand Teresa S., who shakes the dawn from its covers. The teacher Teresa D., whose heart is a fallen country. The compassionate Teresa C., the police could no longer afford. The nurse Teresa E., who prized my sister from cancer's jaws. The community kitchen cook Teresa R., who brews magic out of beans and roots. And so many others who curse their muddied name. Look how they stand, grim-faced, silent, jury of a unanimous guilty verdict, a cathedral of Teresas, a stadium full, led by the Mother Teresa herself, her middle digit like a little stick of dynamite, their eyes locked on Theresa May. Thank you. Thank you. And fuck 77 for Bojo. When we mention you called all women naturally fickle, our men cannibals, our cousins pickaninnies, our smiles watermelon, our aunties letterboxes, our fathers tank-topped bomb boys, our working-class uncles feckless, our single mothers uppity, their children ill-raised and ignorant. You claim to have done so in context, but refuse to acknowledge the goons who come along, their knuckles dragging, to hurl your words at people of color passing, at immigrants, the working class, the vulnerable who duck under fire as your context shatters above their heads, shards showering their flesh. Look how they hold each other as an act of rebellion. Close ranks around your young, whose foreheads glitter, dappled with blood, trying to laugh into the day's gaping mouth, to present a brave front, preserve their dignity, traditions, culture. No harsh words, they whisper to their petrified young. Respect your elders, they urge, but not him, they concede. Not you. Thank you.
Audience noise. Welcome back to the second half of the Roundhouse Poetry Slam Finals.
Woo! Oh, look, we can see faces up there now. Hello up there.
That's quite creepy, but you look nice. You look gorgeous. Can we make some noise for the incredible bar staff here at the Roundhouse before we get started?
Who is drunk? Who is drunk? Who is drunk? Give us a cheer. No, yes, someone over there. All right.
I think the tech person raised their hand. Is that? No.
Right, has everyone taken their seats? Okay, let's hear some noise. Let's get some atmosphere in the room. Let's give these guys a round of applause. Let's make them feel the love. Wonderful. We are back for the second half. We are going to be hearing from another judge in a moment, from Vanessa. I cannot wait. But there are people watching at home on the Roundhouse YouTube channel, and we asked them to get in touch to tell us where they're watching from. Would you like to know who has joined us? People from places like Cornwall, Norwich, Paris, South Africa, Switzerland, Zimbabwe. All right. Yes, love for Zimbabwe. And Sheffield. All right, Yorkshire.
Potato.
So, are you ready to hear from another one of our judges? Absolutely. Cannot wait to hear this brilliant judge. Please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Vanessa Kisuule.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at the Norwich shade. Toby said, hi, everybody. It's really nice to be up here. I love the lights. Yeah, wow, an amazing thing. Hiya, you right? You good? Hi. You know how I feel about having you behind me. I feel like it's kind of like having your bed like with the back of your head to the door. It's like, don't pull up on me. Do you know what I mean? So much so that I might actually relocate. I need these kids in my peripherals, okay? I was not born yesterday, okay? As they keep reminding me, 10 years since she won the slam, 10 years. Did you hear 10 years? Yeah, we heard, okay. Wow. Okay, time comes for us all. That's not like a fucking bumper sticker quote. That's actually how the passage of time works. Who knew? The transience of our arbitrary flesh suits. Anyway, you didn't come here for my existential breakdown. You came here for me to do one poem and then fuck off back over there with my fellow judges. So let me do that. Let me do what I'm contracted to do, innit? Okay, so have we got any Kanye fans in the building? It's okay, this is a safe space. Wait, did someone just jeer? Do you get jeer? I mean, fair enough. But okay, cool. I mean, this is quite a spirited response. I usually get more of like a beleaguered sigh. So that's interesting. Okay, have we got any Azealia Banks fans in the house? Yeah. She's also a difficult one to love, but I'm staying on that train no matter where it ends up. I refuse to stop being an Azealia fan. Nina Simone fans? Always amuses me. People think she's the safe one of the three. She's also her own unique flavor of cuckoo, as people that watch the What Happened Miss Simone documentary will know. A brilliant woman, but also volatile, violent. Some of you may know the folklore of Nina Simone shooting a record producer in the shoulder because he owed her money, which is, yes, woo. But also, not always the best mother, was emotionally and physically violent towards her own daughter. So a complicated woman, to say the least, as well as a genius. And so the reason why I've brought these three people together in a poem is I think they exemplify the strangeness, the brilliance, and the contortion of being a Black genius in a world that is very inhospitable to those two things existing in one body. And yeah, I just wanted to imagine a world, a scene where the three of them sat together and discussed what it's like to be brilliant, but also trapped in forms and projections and assumptions that don't fit. So this is called Kanye, Nina, and Azealia Share a Blunt. I would love to be able to give the specific accents for each character. I cannot do that, so you're going to get my generic, sort of London-adjacent accent throughout. And you're just going to have to fill in the blanks with your imagination, okay? Kanye, sort of, blustering Chicago accent. Azealia Banks, strong, Queens, New York accent. Nina Simone, I'm going to stick with the description I've been using at the other events, is like Joanna Lumley through a sieve. I don't know how else to describe it. It's the most remarkable voice. Please YouTube it if you haven't heard her speaking voice. Okay, cool. Kanye, Nina, and Azealia share a blunt. Gonna Goes like this. Nina's fingers are too thick for rolling, and Azealia is late. A beat begins and dies on Kanye's lips. They sit. Same tree as last time, stranger by the second. It's been years since it tasted blood, but it remembers. Listen, 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 Kanye snarls. I've got an idea. Space travel. Intergalactic deviance. I'm trying to make beats for Martians. Nina likes the homeless thrust of his hands. Those eyes, thick, faithless as bathtub liquor. She'd have liked to have a son. Better yet, be a son. There is hush when a man lifts his piano lid. When his gun rings its one clear note, everyone knows this is a diligent composer. Azealia hollers across the field. The fuck are you wearing, auntie? Nina shrugs. Took this cloud off a hook. Fits snug as the first day I wore it. Z's stride is long. Her fur real. Ice blue contacts, matching wig askew. A string of cat bones wreathing her throat. What's cracking, crazy bitches? Kanye spits into the dirt. I ain't no bitch. Nina's eyes go from joke to threat. And I'm not crazy. What are you talking about? Z sucks on the blunt. You dark, loud, and mean like me. What's in this weed? Fish food? Shit's weak. You ever get the urge to make out with a machete? Let's go to the gay club. No, let's make a mixtape. Call it Lost Cause, New York Negress Blues. Make America grieve again. Z, you need to focus. I'm trying to put niggas in spaceships. Spaceships? I only want niggas in counseling or caskets. In ancient tradition, two bitter black women laugh. Kanye chews his mouth, paints a self-soothing scene. Baseball bat to both these bitches' skulls. Thud, thud, loop. What would Dilla do? Ye makes his demons two-step in sweatshop sneakers, clasps his hands together. Mama, I can hear them laughing, even in my sleep. Night is the last guest to join them. The weed weaves its voodoo as they talk about rage. They won't let me be great, be gospel. Diet jazz still seeps out my eyes. I spit cleaner than them red bones, Coke bottle-built girls, overseers doing laps in their veins. Let's talk about real rage, Nina says. I ever tell you about the time I shot a man? Keen as weeds, they lean in. Oh, he screamed. For mercy, an ambulance, whichever came first. Cracker blood all on my rug. I had that shipped from Persia. Meant to shoot him in the heart, got the shoulder. Figure if I gotta have a chip, he need one to match. They all laugh so hard the sky hitches its hem to make space. 3 rows of teeth in the dark. In the hard-earned silence, they smoke. This is no night for music. But listen, listen, listen. It's the leaves conspiring amongst themselves.
Good luck, good luck, good luck.
Let's hear it for the incredible Vanessa Kisuule. Vanessa's debut novel, Neverland, is going to be out. Pre-order it. You know it's going to be good from that. We are very excited to start our second half of the slam. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Let's get a little bit warmed up. Get a bit more life onto the stage. Get a bit more air in the room. Get a bit more noise in the room. When I say roundhouse, you say slam. Roundhouse. Slam. Roundhouse. Slam. When I say I am having a gay old time tonight, you say, of course you bloody well are, Toby. You're at the Roundhouse Slam. Babe, I didn't say it yet, but I appreciate the energy, okay? You're a true ally. Okay, thank you. I'm having a gay old time tonight. Yes! I'm glad we're on the same page. Thank you, love you. Okay, brilliant. So, are you ready for your first slammer of the second half? Are you ready for your first slammer of the second half? In reverse order, please welcome to the stage, Raina Grafer.
Triptych in which I take an STD test. 1. Work. It is the middle of the day, and I am imagining a clit at the tip of my heart. I send emails all whilst wondering when the last time everyone in this room had sex. I am riding my computer mouse like a drunken cowgirl. It is a marvel how many things are invisible to my coworkers. Take, for example, how I was recently kissed up against a light post, held like the pages of a book under a reading lamp. Instead, they see me stand at the testing kiosk picking up a small cardboard box. There is a world where I'm not scared to explain. I still want to touch men's necks. My safe return has ripened into an unspeakable thing. 2. Bathroom. I have tried forgetting history while looking in a handheld mirror. I have considered building a bonfire to conquer memory. Letting hope sit in my throat, drown in this fleshy well, and still beg for water, maybe that was my first mistake. Headlines say your body is your only guaranteed life raft. The box of test tubes in my bag is almost harmless. My pelvis is overlooking a shallow pool, sizing up the bowl's muzzle, listening to intimacy insist on trickling down my thighs. 3. Swab. Because you are never holy, but learn to find your hand pulsing beautiful odes. Here you are, with a swab against your vaginal wall, seeing discharge as a pearl necklace, as wedding lace, thinking about whether it is possible for touching yourself not to be an articulation of sugary diamonds. All that worry, that loneliness made you a shameful thing. Now believing in your slick body, believing in the wet sun. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Raina Grafer. Keep that love going for our next poet of the second half, P.A. Bites.
Can I have help? I'm not good at this. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's bloody thick.
Okay, good.
It's not just you, babes. Don't worry.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Mother Messiah. Thy Messiah has a vagina. Voluptuous vanguard, Lady Godiva. With her crimson rose lipstick and hieroglyph eyeliner, she rides wise into wars like Athena. Nature's nymph, light of life, Lolita, with a smile that interrogates like Mona Lisa, Mother Earth, queen of the ether. Flowers spring from her fingers, and the sky is her mirror. She's the lamb, the leader, the fire bearer and savior. She will eat Gehenna after slaying the ogre and hushing, shh, the hissing cobra. God breastfeeds martyrs while hungry eyes crucify her. Thy Messiah has a vagina. The Holy Ghost delivers Caesarean thunder, monthly Menzies, celestial wonder, the phenomena of wine made from water. Boys beg God to bow like Vestal virgins, suburban servants. God's temple is not the kitchen. She didn't conceive the world to bake you chicken. Men recite ghetto sermons and cook famine. Apples stuck in the throats of Adams, saving Eves from boys with buttons just before the cosmos is aborted into a single atom. The father is a girl. That is why men offer God nothing but betrayal, thorns and steel nails, blood oaths with Baal, climbing the summit of sin, the Tower of Babel, treating God like sheep cattle, snatching burning bush into mantle to rekindle candles. Men strangle their shadows, sickened by their own morals. For centuries, men have prayed to phallic symbols whilst blaspheming the nipple. It is easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than the sentient to praise the essence that cradles. They try to dismiss God as a parable. But her body is the Bible. Genesis, Exodus, and Matthew. Throw pearls to pigs, and it will be trampled. The priceless is often undervalued. Thank you.
Let's hear it for PA Bites. Keep that love going for your next poet, Rewa Sub.
The music thumps out of the bars. He talks to me about the boy he likes. A third cousin lends me her ID. A new friend wonders how she could hold her love between Beirut and Dubai while we stall, binging on corn nuts. A stranger explains astrophysics to me. Pearls sewn onto her jeans. Puppies scramble across the floor where we listened to poems last week. Ammonium nitrate is imminent inside the port we drive past. A sea leaps, but never swallows. Today, I open my phone to show Gabriel a photo of my grandparents, and instead, I see a mushroom cloud. When I have children, and they're old enough to learn about the explosion from their friends, will they ask me, where was I? Will they ask me, what was I doing? Will they raise the same questions I asked my mom about the war when she was a child, for her to reply, I don't remember. Played cards. Waited. Did she know at the time that she'd make it through? All the way to dropping me off at the playground gate where I'd ask my classmates why they don't eat Rice Krispie squares or gelatin, and I'd go home to ask Mom, where is God? Maybe I'll find an answer somewhere in measuring the dimensions of broken buildings and bloodied streets on my phone against the weight of 18 years in the city that built me. I'll reply, dreaming of them in a poem. Wishing they wouldn't have to ask me these questions about a past. Will they too get to build their own picture of this city?
Let's hear it for Rewa Saab. Keep that love going for your next poet, Jenny Lee.
I wrote this poem while I was working as a care worker during the first summer of the COVID-19 pandemic. Context. Alma, Nora, Anne, Dave, Peter, Colin, Cherry. I walk the streets slow. Reluctantly delay only to guiltily redouble my pace. My legs are teetering piles of bones, and they click-clack as I go. Alma's an old Jewish lady. She lives over on Oxford Street. The other carers say she shouts and throws things, but she's always been kind to me. She likes dancing and singing and biscuits and praying, but she's always quiet when her sister drops by for a cup of tea. And she holds my hand and cries every time I leave. Alma, Nora, Anne, Dave, Peter, Colin, Cherry. Nora lives in a community home. She doesn't like me. Every time I visit, she sighs and sits silently. If she does utter even a single word, it's a criticism on how I do laundry or how I cook. Didn't anyone ever teach you this? Don't you know that? We'll be here all night now. She'll seethe from where she's sat. And I smile, grit my teeth, fill in her med chart and leave. She goes back to the quiet and lonely. Alma, Nora, Anne, Dave, Peter, Colin, Cherry. Anne is a small woman who needs very little from me. I unlock her med box, give her 3 little pills, I make her a cup of tea, and we sit and chat while I fill in her chart. And with her, I let down my guard. I let real bits of myself come out. One day she told me, it's okay if you need to rearrange your timesheet. Come whenever works for you, she'd say. But one day I was late and she cried, and I'll never forget the scared look on her face. Alma, Nora, Anne, Dave, Peter, Colin, Cherry. Dave was a new service user. He found it hard to breathe. He couldn't get up on his own anymore, so every day he lay on the couch watching old westerns on the telly. He couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. His family told me about it. So I told the office he needed a chair, a hoist, a lift, something. They gave him incontinence pads and laxatives. Short-term measures that they knew would outlive him. Alma, Nora, Anne, Dave, Peter, Colin, Cherry. Every time I turn the street, I repeat in my head an endless rhythm accompanying my steps, the names on my timesheet. I could never tell you all the stories I drag behind me. David, Ruth, Sylvie, Maria, George, Winnie. I walk the streets slow. Outside, I don't wear my uniform because people smile at me when they have it on. Alma, Nora, Anne, Dave, Peter, Colin, Cherry. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Jenny Lee. Keep your love going for our next poet of the evening, Matt Sowerby.
So I found out that when they were making maps in medieval times, if the map maker didn't know what was in a certain area, they just write, "Here be dragons." This is a poem about places in life that we don't go to because we don't know what we're going to find. In asking yourself why you're shaking all the time, in remembering the day you forgot how to fly, in being honest with those you love, no more distractions, in being strong enough to be weak enough. Here be dragons. And in waiting all night by the cliff edge, and in loving someone without trying to fix them, and on reflecting on failed relationships and decoding the pattern in forgiving, and in asking forgiveness. Here be dragons. So leave your room, drive north true north, further than you have gone before, cross oceans, weather storms, until you find yourself back at your own front door, crawl under your own bed, challenge the monsters to games of riddles or war, then keep crawling till you find yourself in a vast cavern. Here be dragons, their wings wide, they're skydiving, fireflies the size of giants, scales as dark as a violent night, their eyes are light, think dynamite, think dinosaurs, think so much more, they're born to defy science, hydras, wyverns, high on highness, all kinds of silence and violence. And here be dragons, and if you are cold, they will use this fire to warm you. They will sleep with one eye open in case you need someone to support you. If you are low, they will fly you to the heart of the aurora. They are roaring for you. They are calling for you. Until one night you notice in the mirror over the sink how every obstacle you've scaled has left a scale upon your skin. How every time you've bitten back your words, you have fueled what burns within. Sometimes a bone has got to break to make some space to grow your wings. We are dragons. We have skin as thick as stone. But being what dreams are made of will inevitably take its toll. The trolls are the price we pay for holding on to so much hope. For every dragon, there's a silver knight who's coming for their gold, but being dragons doesn't mean that we are fearless all the time. I'm still shaking every stage I take to test out my new rhymes, but there is this feeling, and it's fight or flight, and it lets me know that I'm alive. That's how I know that this is fire, because I am burning up inside.
Let's hear it for Matt Sowerby. Don't be sorry. We are halfway through the second half. Audience, how we doing? Doing good. Judges, all good? Okay, amazing. We have 6 poets left to perform. I know we've heard a lot of poets tonight, a lot of brilliant poems, but we're going to give all of our focus and our energy to these last 6 performances. Denez Smith talks about poems being gathering grounds. And that is what we're here to do tonight. We've created our own gathering ground. We're here to commune and feast. And we're going to do that with these last 6 poets as intently as we did with the first 6 that we heard. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay, let's go. So, can I get some rumbling feet, please? Can I get some hands thrown in? And can I get some voices thrown in? Let's hear it for Ray!
Oh, I've got it. You're coming. Oh, wait, I didn't try. I'm very strong. Okay. The arc, rites of passage to enter. The fetus realized, comma, curve born, a cradled exhale, ink stricken, dotting eyes as it opens theirs for the first time. They are drying tarmac, warm, protected, a yet-to-be path leading to somewhere, its own diversion and deterrent from harm. Curls on its head, slick with beginning, and the baby knows it's black. Not because anybody else accused it, but because of the feeling in the lash lid's lips opening. They are yelling, and no one here will say they are angry or angered or ask where they're from or tell them to go back to it, because the ward is aware that this is an announcement that I have arrived and I am black, and everyone claps and laughs and confetti rains for an hour, and the ancestors are dancing until they have bones again. And if the walls could talk, they would be singing and spitting and yelling, and everyone is joyous before they learn to put the word despite on the end of it, because this ball, this bundle of black is endless possibility. They will grow up to write the word in capital letters, like they are yelling, like they are telling you that they've arrived. Thanks.
Let's hear it for Ray. Keep that look going for your next poet, Bradley Taylor.
So there I was in my local pub in Birmingham where I had my first pint at 7.5 years old. I was in full drag, leather corset and fishnets up me crack, and the guy who bullied me at school came up to me and asked me for a lighter. This is the story. Oi! 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 You got a light, mate? I said, have you got a light, mate? Here, for me straight. You see, mate, I've just bum one off my missus' father's cousin's brother's dog, mate, because I don't usually smoke, mate, because when I've had a drink, see, mate, and I'm on the lash with the lads, see, mate, and old habits are hard to kick, and you ain't teaching this old dog new tricks. So, have you got a light, mate? I said, have you got a light, mate? Here, for me. Wait. Don't I know you? Ain't you that dickhead kid from down the road from Dave's, mate? The one who's wore a charity shop suit to sixth form was the only boy in the drama class. Yeah, that's you, mate. The one who got chased home when you were in year 7 by us year 11s getting buried in the snow. Good times, eh, mate? And it's good to see you, mate. How have you been, mate? And have you got a light for your old mate, or maybe even a vape? I said, have you got a light, mate? Got a light? Because I swear you used to have one right within your eyes, glowing like headlights. I saw it when you did your one-man performance of Mamma Mia in year 7, when you sucked off, necked off with that boy behind the bins in year 11, and we caught you. Been nearly a decade now, hasn't it, mate? And those years just ran straight by us like I used to be able to on the pitch. Do you see me motor outside, mate? Little Ford Focus, mate. You know, at night I like to turn off the lights and I rub right up against it. Gets me about town, see, mate, past all these old furniture shops and curry houses turned craft beer bars. I fucking hate them, mate. Can't beat your local, can you? Local like me and you, mate. And how is your mother, mate? Is she well? Yeah, mine passed about 2 years ago now, mate. Family ain't been the same since, but at least we've got all those years to hang on to, eh, mate? Like those charcoal portraits Miss Moisey made us do in year 8. Mine the one with the smudged head and brain all over the place. I said, have you got a light, mate? And can you light it for me, mate? Because I can't see straight, and all these memories are just flooding straight through. I said, have you got a light, mate? Because I swear me and you used to have one right within our eyes. Faded slowly, didn't it, mate? Now I got 2 dead dogs and a divorce under me ever-widening belt, and you're still wearing the same old suit. I said, have you got a light, mate? Because I think we could both do with one, couldn't we? And him, K-holing in the corner, and them holding the hand of a stranger, and all of us who forgot the light was ever there, shivering now in the uncertainty. Because we're all just trying to be, aren't we? Something or someone. Is that what you're trying to be now, mate? And you know what, mate? I know you've got a light. You know why, mate? Because I can see it in you still. And if I can still see it in you, mate, maybe, just maybe, I can still see it in me. So if you got a light, mate, because I don't usually smoke, but tonight, I'm fucking desperate. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for Bradley Taylor. Keep that love going for your next poet of the evening, Bronnie Elliott.
I love telling people marine iguanas can shrink their bones. That when El Nino comes and the red and blue algae they feed on doesn't bloom, they shrink in on themselves, their very bones becoming smaller. These great and powerful lizards who, when they're basking on their rocks, their heads tilted towards the sun, seem like dinosaurs of a new age. Even they make themselves less to survive. And this isn't a metaphor. And it isn't about me, and it isn't about trauma. And I know, sure, you can make metaphors if you want, but I don't care about that anymore. This poem is me trying to speak to you, and I promise I'm not being anything but honest. I just want to tell you how marine iguanas are the only marine lizards in the world. There's no vegetation for them to eat on land, so they have to dive. And the sea around the Galapagos is rough as the islands are surrounded by open ocean, and it's cold. Of course, it was always going to be cold on a black volcanic rock on an equatorial island, but the Humboldt Current carries cold from Antarctica, and still they dive. Marine iguanas are cold-blooded. They can't generate their own body heat like you, and if they stay underwater too long and get too cold, their muscles seize up and they'll drown, and yet they still dive because they need to eat. And I can hear you hearing metaphors, but this isn't a metaphor. I am trying to talk to you about marine iguanas, but I know you aren't hearing me talk about that. You're hearing something else, and I don't really know what. But I I have been straining to hear your metaphors, to unpick how the words we're using aren't the words we're using, and I don't know how to ask more plainly or more openly for you to understand that marine iguanas are basically impossible to keep in captivity. The algae they eat is too specialized a diet for zoos to provide, and marine iguanas just don't thrive outside the Galapagos. They were never really meant to be around people, and that's okay, because I know they can grow to 4.3 feet long and dive over 20 meters and sneeze excess salt out their nostrils. I know they use their claws to hold themselves steady in the current as they graze. And I know when the algae doesn't come, they shrink their literal bones, adapting the core structure of their form. And this isn't a metaphor. I am telling you about marine iguanas, and I love doing this. And all I am asking is that you really, really listen when I tell you that marine iguanas are worthy of poetry.
Let's hear it for Bronnie Ellis. Keep that love going for your next poet of the evening, Tatenda Muchai.
Lazarus. We howl laughter at the ceiling, split the roof, threw the moon out of orbit, sent all our tears back where they came from. Backed Bacardi because Big Bro would have backed it. Let spirit slide down everyone's backside. The casket entered to John Cena's theme song. We all hid our faces like he would. Every eulogy was met with a cheers. He was a good man. Cheers. He had a great heart. Cheers. We will all miss him. Cheers. One day we will see him. Cheers. He is just sleeping. Cheers. Auntie, who is a lawyer, cuts the cake, while Auntie, who is a nurse, says a prayer. All the uncles are out of focus background characters whose only dialogue is canned laughter. We all two-step to bashment, horns blaring, no tears, just gun fingers pointed to the sky like a ransom, till we are all so full of song that we can't taste sorrow, holding our heads, patam soro, holding our spines, patam sana, turning around, tenderera, turning around, tenderera, turning around, tenderera, till the whole church is turning around. Pastor has off his shoes, the uncles and their shirts undone. The laptop streaming to 16 different countries, circling above. The sky too dark. We pulled the moon back, cried till we were empty, orbiting the casket, howling, wake up. In the morning, he is making a triple-decker sandwich. Mama is filled with song again because he has risen.
Let's hear it for Tatenda Muchai. Keep that love going for your penultimate slammer of the evening, Zara Suhail.
Just a content warning for honor-based abuse against women. Before I get into the poem, there's a well-known trick called the spoon trick that honor-based victims have used at airports.
And security are also trained to recognize that the spoon in their underwear is a sign of that abuse, just for some context before I read. You never held her hand. No, palm in palm, your baby girl wraps her hand around your pinky finger, guiding her through life. She became an extension of your shadow, following 2 steps for your 1. Before she reached 2, your spoons flew like aeroplanes, doing loops in the air before they reached her mouth. In year 9, instead of listening to Nirvana, the charity Karma Nirvana handed each girl a spoon and told them that if they were being forced flights, to fight it with a spoon in their underwear at airport security. You made your daughter's place in the kitchen, and so she made sure to remember that cutlery was not used for solely eating. That the only drawers her spoon should be placed in was beneath her trousers. At 13, I was told about Shafilia Ahmed, how her teachers reported her missing in 2003 before her parents did. Her body found in River Kent. No cause of death, no rest in peace. No cause of death, no rest in peace. 10 years later, and her sister fakes a robbery. Tells the police that her father tried to suffocate Shafilia with a plastic bag for refusing to accept a hand. The police later declared this a homicide that took place in her home inside. 2024, and the news covers headlines about Arthur's Seat. It is morning somewhere, and at the bottom of a cliff, the rocks didn't make her bleed. That Channel 4 made a documentary about Fawzia, played transcripts of calls in courts. She documented the history whilst he tells his stories. She studied the law, saved her last breath to say, he pushed me before she got the chance to push out her baby. His hand weighing 8 pounds heavier on the scales of Lady Justice, whilst everyone waits for this lady to receive her justice. We are taught about izzat, honor, ingrained the word in our heads. Whilst they say that honor is ours, what is izzat if you are murdering your daughters? What is izzat if shame matters more than the life you brought into this world? What is izzat if you cannot maintain your own? What is izzat if you don't know the very meaning of the word? When my daughters grow, I'll tell them not about izzat, but that love is not the only 4-letter word men know. That being a wife still might mean they aren't safe. I'll tell them that although their names are not Jane, I'm worried about having to identify a doe. I'll tell them about the names the news has covered and hasn't covered. I'll tell them about the Shafilias, the Ranias, the Fawzias, the Banans, the Roxanas, the Samarias. And for every Jane and Jawaria doe, whose names we still do not know. For those who were killed in the name of honor, but in the names we cannot honor. For the Jawaria does.
Let's hear it for Zara Suhair. Get your feet going, get your hands going, get your mouths going. Your final slammer of the evening, Eliezer Gorey.
Jeez, okay. Pearson, EdXL, Catford Mathematics, Practice Paper 1, Non-Calculator. It's 7:45, you're leaving for a night out. At 6 units, you're classified as drunk. You're aiming for 8. Ninth Life charges £7.15 for a double, but 6:30 to 8:30, happy hour, 50% off. Catford Inn charges £6.75, but your mates are dabbing, so the first one is free. London Rye Free House charges £6.50, but the staff are students who pour triples a quarter of the time. You're £100 in overdraft with a £20 note. Which pub will get you unresponsive on this budget? Give your answer in copper coins. 3 marks. The above map, a map of Catford is shown. 124s are scheduled for every 12 minutes, but arrive on whims. You're walking from Tesco Express to Catford Bridge Station. You're stopped every 7 minutes to be asked if you smoke. Your walking speed is 3 miles per hour. Show how long it would take if you said yes to every time. Assume the exchange of numbers takes 2 minutes. Give your answer an amount of 124s that should have gone by. 3 marks. Lewisham is home to Europe's biggest police station. They sweep your area every quarter hour. Someone smashed up a new shop the other day. Your mate Femi just picked up. It takes him 40 minutes for him to get to you. He matches a description. What is the probability he arrives? 2 marks. For a skilled worker visa in the UK, you must earn £29,000 per annum to be able to bring dependents. Your auntie just moved over, is working as a carer in Portsmouth. She does more than 40 hours a week, no overtime. Earning £12 an hour, is she able to see her sons? 2 marks. This year, Lewisham is the borough of culture. 2 shops pop up. Going forward, every year, 1 shop you remember will close and be replaced. For each new shop, rent will rise 8%. Before, your rent was 600. The highest you can go is 9. How long left do you have at home? 2 marks.
Wow, wow, wow. Let's hear it for Eliezer Gray. And all of the slammers that you've heard this evening.
They're amazing. Oof. I was just sitting there going, oof, oof. Thank you. What a privilege to hear you all perform. Thank you for bearing your souls and your vulnerability and giving us such incredible words and making us feel all the feels. Magnificent. Shall I give you some very exciting news? The voting is open. So you've got QR codes on your tables, and if you're watching at home, there's something on the screen. I'm not very good with technology. There's a code. There's a code or a link or something. So please get voting now. Talk to each other quietly, but also focus your attention on the stage because our third and final judge is going to get on stage. You're looking at me like
Should we give a recap of their names so they remember them, just in case they forget? Do you feel like you need a recap of names?
Yes. Do it. That's a good idea.
So we're going to do it very quickly, and we're going to give a whoop, an equal whoop for everybody who stands up. So I'm going to read your name, take a bow, take your glory that you bloody well deserve, and we're going to go through it this way. So we have Eliezer Gray. We have Zara Suhair. We have Tatenda Machai, Bronnie Ellis. We have Bradley Taylor, Ray, Matt Sowerby, Jenny Lee, Rewa Saab, P.A. Bites, and last but not least, Raina Grafer.
Fearless. Love them all. Okay, so whilst you are voting, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage. We're in for a real treat. Our third judge, Cerys Matthews.
Don't worry, I'm not going to read any of my poems. Thank you all very, very much. At the beginning of this evening, I said we had no idea the worlds we were going to enter. And I thank you for letting us come to your worlds. And good luck to all of you. I've recently put out a book of the work of a writer. A huge amount of the work that we praise still, decades after his death, were written in a tiny little room when he was a young boy, a teenager. The first one I'm going to read is a tribute to those quiet moments when we try and make sense of the world as creatives. And it's a thank you to all of you tonight on the stage for sharing your worlds. In my craft or selling art, exercised in the still night when only the moon rages, and the lovers lie abed with all their griefs in their arms, I labor by singing light, not for ambition or bread, or the strut and trade of charms on the ivory stages, but for the common wages of their most secret heart. Not for the proud man apart from the raging moon I write on these spindrift pages, nor for the towering dead with their nightingales and psalms, but for the lovers, their arms round the griefs of the ages, who pay no praise or wages, nor heed my craft or art. If I haven't said it, this is Dylan Thomas's work. He was a pop star, you know. No, I'm serious. One of the earliest pop stars of the modern world. He would travel to America, and by all accounts, young women would throw themselves at him, and he was a poet. And now I can't find the poem I'm going to read. Bear with me. Oh, yeah, this one. So I traced his work from the very earliest when he was a child, the ones that survived his mum burning them by mistake. Traced his work from the very earliest works to the very last works, and then pulled out some which he rejected. I happen to love his rejects more than some of the classic, well-loved ones, so this is one of them. Being but men, we walked into the trees afraid, letting our syllables be soft for fear of waking the rooks, for fear of coming noiselessly into a world of wings and cries. If we were children, we might climb, catch the rook sleeping and break no twig, and after the soft ascent thrust out our heads above the branches to wonder at the unfailing stars. Out of confusion, as the way is, and the wonder that man knows, out of the chaos would come bliss. That then is loveliness, we said. Children in wonder watching the stars is the aim and the end. Being but men, we walked into the trees. I know we're all excited to see the results. Have you all finished voting? Yes? Then I'll finish with a tiny little prayer, if that's okay, again by the same poet. It can be sung. I'm not going to sing it. Every morning when I wake, dear Lord, a little prayer I make. Oh, please, do keep thy lovely eye on all poor creatures born to die. And every evening at sundown, I ask a blessing on the town, for whether we last the night or no, I'm sure is always touch and go. We are not wholly bad or good who live our lives under milkwood. And thou, I know, wilt be the first to see our best side, not our worst. Oh, let us see another day. Bless us all this night, I pray, and to the sun we all will bow and say goodbye. But just for now.
Again for the incredible Cerys Matthews. Okay, so the votes are being counted and verified. In important to say, after the show, say hello to the poets. If you enjoyed their work, they'll be around outside. Go and speak to them, find out what they're doing, support them. Like we said at the start, this is a competition as such. But Poetry Slam started as a gimmick to get people to come and watch poetry. It's not a real thing. We tricked you all. And it bloody well worked because you listen to their incredible, incredible poetry so attentively. So please do find them on social media, follow them, find out how you can support them. The same with the judges. They've got incredible books coming out. Same with Anita, who has a book coming out. So please do go and find that and buy it and support all of her incredible work.
June the 20th, it's a paperback. It's called Baby Does a Runner. You'll find it in all good bookshops and some really bad ones as well. So there are no bad bookshops. Say that back.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. That's totally true. And also find out what's going on in the Last Word Festival that is on until the 30th of June. We need a little bit more time for the judges, for the votes to be counted. Sorry? Poem from me? From me? Oh, go on then. Oh God, bloody hell, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll read a little poem that's super new, it's brand new. And I've written it on this cue card. That's how professional I am, guys. Okay. So I wrote this thinking about, I don't know if anyone else is at this stage in their life where all of your mates are settling down and having kids and getting married and buying houses and all of that. Oh God, who was that? Oh yeah, love you. Okay, yes, brilliant. Okay, love that for you. I also caught a few people's eyes and they were like, no, we're those people. We're those friends. Okay. So this is for you on table 36. I'm the one in the group, you know, the one in the group chat who's like, someone's like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, are we still going to Ibiza? We paid the deposit. Say, yeah, before I read this, I also do want to say I genuinely do respect anyone who is attempting to raise a child. That is brilliant. That is brilliant for you. This is called Everyone is Smuggling Babies. Everyone is smuggling babies into wine bars, encouraging them to list farm animals. All I wanted was a Pinot Grigio. But the waiter can't get to our table for Fireman Sam propaganda. A toddler is ordering pimento olives, asking me why I don't have a mortgage. Excuse me, this chair is melting lunchbox cheese. Please confirm your meal choices for the reception. No presents, honestly. But here's a link to our honeymoon fund. Can I speak to the manager? I'm trying to talk about the chest x-ray I had last week. My friend's baby says, are you done? Life is a womb-flavored line of ketamine leading to Benidorm, says Rebecca, organizing the hen. My friend's baby calls me a pathetic old twink. Pulls a sharpened crayon on me. Come on now, we've all had a drink. His mum hasn't slept in 2 years. I don't know how to help. The friend who once pissed in my freshly painted wardrobe is telling his baby, behave. Thank you.
Shall I come in?
I think.
We're doing something together.
I think we are. Oh, we got the thumbs up. We've got the thumbs up. We've got the thumbs up.
All right. Yes, the votes have been counted, and yeah, incredible. But before we get Marcus on stage, I want to say a maxim, if I may, that is read out at all slams around the world. The points are not the point. The point is the poetry. Thank you. And that's it. Yes, so once again, thanks to all of you. There are 900 of you in this room, which means that this is the most successful poetry slam there has been to date. So thank you. Big round of applause for yourselves. Big up yourselves, especially those of you up there. Let's hear you in the high seats. So now, with the results, please can you welcome to the stage Marcus Davey, who's the Artistic Director and CEO of the Roundhouse. Marcus.
No. Yeah, I'm a giant. Anyway, I'm Toby's older twin brother, obviously. It's fantastic to see you. Well, actually, right now I can't see you, but it was great to see you earlier. I'm Marcus Davey, and it's such a pleasure to welcome you to the Roundhouse for our 19th Poetry Slam Final, which means next year it's a big 20th anniversary, and I hope you'll all be there. Let's make it 1,800 people next year. Let's do it. The point is poetry, of course, but points mean prizes as well. So we're going to get onto that in a second. There's a few words I want to say first. First of all, a big, big thank you to Anita and Toby. It feels very strange to be standing up here, as we heard already, as Vanessa said, with my back to these extraordinary and beautiful, brilliant poets. So the first round of applause goes to these incredible poets. This year, you heard that we work with partners all over the country, and I just want to give them a shout out to say thank you for your partnership. And they are the Bristol Beacon. Yes, they're a fantastic, beautiful, renovated concert hall in Bristol. Used to be called something else, and now it's called the Bristol Beacon. Liverpool Everyman. And the Hyde Park Book Clubs in Leeds. Fantastic. And of course, all the online slam heats and all of the heats that happened in London as well. For all the poets that applied and got through all of the heats, and to all those on stage, a massive thank you for your participation. You saw on here that this is in partnership with Taylor Wessing. This is the second year with their support. It means we can reach further, dig deeper, and make bigger audiences for spoken word poetry. And it really does mean we can become ambitious and to give amazing prizes. So I want you to join me in saying a big, big thank you, your biggest thank you of the night, to Taylor Wessing. And you heard in the film that, this is about life-changing stuff. And we can talk about life-changing stuff, but let's hear some proof about life-changing stuff. In recent years, Poetry Slam finalists and winners have gone on to be BAFTA-winning writers. Yes, award-winning actors, directors, poets, teachers, people who are earning money from their art. And isn't that fantastic? This stage has seen some of the world's greatest ever performers. From the amazing rock musicians to actors and choreographers, dancers and poets. And aren't we lucky to see the future of the great talent that we're going to be witnessing on our stages tonight? So another thank you to you guys. We've had, for the Poetry Slam, we've had extra support from the Bar Capel Foundation. And I wanted to be a big thank you to those organisations that support us on a regular basis, particularly the Arts Council, the Paul Hamlin Foundation, and the Norman Trust. Your support means we can do the things that we do, so thank you. You heard of something called Behind the Lens already this evening, but what it is means that all these people on camera are training, and that's part of another program that we do at the Roundhouse, filming what we're doing, and it's live streaming. So hello everybody who's watching from home or elsewhere, which might be my kids as well, so I hope you're there watching. Thank you to all of you on the camera operators and the live edit control downstairs beneath our feet. And talking about beneath our feet, if you don't know, you're obviously in the Roundhouse main space, but just below our feet are the Paul Hamlin Roundhouse Studios, and just out there is Roundhouse Works, a brand new centre, creative centre for young people. Last year when I stood on this stage, I said, we've just opened it. A year in, the Inflection Workspace is full. Isn't that amazing? The studios upstairs are in use all the time, and this year we'll work with 9,000 young people at the Roundhouse. But our ambition doesn't stop there. Our ambition is that within 3 years from now, we'll be working with 15,000 young people a year, because what we know is that amazing talent is born with us. We're all talented. We all have creativity. We all have imagination. We all have an artistic bone in our bodies. Unfortunately, the opportunities that are offered in our society are few and far between. So what we can do at the Roundhouse is to find the talent in all of us, whether that's becoming an artist, a backstage person, a person camera operator, or going into a whole range of other things. What we do at the Roundhouse is build confidence, self-esteem, artistry, and so much more. And you have supported that tonight. So I want to say from myself and the Roundhouse Trust, the trustees, and all my colleagues, a big thank you to you. Thank you. Okay, we're nearly there. You're nearly with the prizes. Had anyone noticed that there's an election going on at the moment? Well, a few years back, the election night was actually on the Slam night. What I would say to you is, when the politicians come knocking on your door and asking for your vote, and you're interested in the arts, you must be because you're here tonight, or you're interested in creativity in schools, talk to them about it and say, if you want my vote, we want to see more arts education. We want to see more opportunities for young people. We want to see a change in our society, and we want it now. I love this saying, which is, in life, we don't measure ourselves by the number of breaths we take, but we measure it by the number of times our breath has been taken away. My breath has been taken away tonight, but there was somebody really special who isn't with us tonight, who I just want us to remember. 5 years ago, I was so thrilled to have been in the Poetry Slam heat downstairs, actually with some friends who are sitting here tonight. And we saw Boyega perform for the first time at the Roundhouse. It was about 5 years ago. He was a wonderful, wonderful poet. How are you, Boyega? Decent. So everyone who's in here who knew him will have known that response. We loved Boyega, and he took my breath away. And I got to know him over the years. He was a heat judge last year, and he sat in this room with us last year in the final. We want to remember him always, because he had a unique voice, and we knew that he was going to be one of the great poets of the future. So, on the 23rd of June, I'm just reading this bit because I don't want to get the details wrong, during the Last Word Festival, which, as you know, is just starting tonight, we're launching Little Betty, a publishing imprint set up in loving memory of Boyega by his long-term collaborators and friends at Bad Betty Press. Please be with us on the 23rd of June to remember this extraordinary poetic life and a life full of poetry. Let's have a second just to remember. If you knew him, and I'm sorry for those of people who didn't know him, but just let's have a second for Boyega. So now to the prizes. In a second, I'll be inviting Kirsty McGuigan, who from Taylor Wessing, onto the stage to announce the first prize. But I am delighted that I've got, and actually, the judges don't know who's won. It's only because they did their own scoring. That's gone backstage, and there's about 3 of us who know. So you're about to find out. So the winner of the audience vote goes to Zara Sahar. Quite right. Fantastic. Absolutely loved the poems. So in third place, I'm delighted to announce that Zara has won third place as well. So into second place. In a second, I'll be calling up Kirsty, as I say. In second place of the Poetry Slam 2024, Eliza Gore. So, I don't actually know who's won, so I'm looking forward to hearing that myself. My final thanks to you, to the wonderful poets, and now please welcome Kirsty from Taylor Wessing to announce the winner. Out there?
Yes, thank you, Marcus. It does need to come down quite a bit from.
Over to you.
Thank you, Marcus. And well done to all of these amazing people on stage. I know you all want to know who the winner is, but if you can just give me 2 minutes. Because I just wanted to say that your performances have been nothing short of inspiring and thought-provoking, and it has been a real privilege to be here tonight. On behalf of Taylor Wessing, we are delighted to support the Roundhouse in inspiring and nurturing young, emerging creatives. You might say, what has a law firm got to do with the Roundhouse and why do we support it? Well, our partnership with the Roundhouse is one of great pride for us, and it reflects the importance that we place on making a positive and tangible difference to our clients, the people, and the communities. Creativity plays a key role in many of our successes, and like tonight's performers, we use this challenge to expectation, to deliver excellence, and create extraordinary results. And that mirrors exactly what we've seen tonight on this stage. And speaking, therefore, of delivering excellence and extraordinary results, it is now time to announce the winner. The decision was not easy. Oh, the pressure. The exceptional quality of artistic expression presented to us tonight did make this a difficult decision. But this individual's performance really resonated deeply, captivating us and everyone with their raw emotion, their compelling narrative and delivery. And it is with my pleasure that I get to announce that the winner is Bradley Taylor.
Cheers! Very quickly say this, so I'm from Birmingham, sorry about that. Poetry exists outside of London, remember that. But Birmingham and the people in it taught me all that I know, and I'd like to dedicate this to 3 people who live in Birmingham. First of all, my fellow poet, Mr. Ray over there, my best mate. Second of all, me nan, Patricia, whose birthday is today, who's sat up there. Cheers, judges. And last but not least, to the king of Birmingham himself, the late, great Benjamin Zephaniah. Thank you very much. Good night.
Let's hear it again for all of the poets who performed tonight.
Well done. You're incredible.
Absolutely incredible. I know we're all chomping at the bit to get a little cheeky drink, can't we? And come and chat to the poets and tell them how beautiful and brilliant they are. Marcus has already done a load of thank yous. We're going to reiterate a couple before we quickly go. So, if we could get a low, rumbling level of applause. Slightly higher, slightly more generous, but no, that's good. And I'm going to do a whoop after each of these people. So, again, thank you to all of the teams at the Roundhouse. Particular shout out to the tech team. Woo! The front of house staff and the volunteers. Woo! To Rena, Dom, Jack and the producing team who worked so hard to make this happen. Thank you again to our incredible interpreters, Ali and Peter. To our incredible DJ. Isn't he gorgeous? To my wonderful co-host, Anita Rani.
Thank you for having me. I've loved it. Aren't you good? It's been brilliant.
And thank you to you, the audience, and to everybody at home for tuning in. You're all fabulous. I think that's it.
I think it is. I think it's just the bar is open.
The bar's open.
The bar is open. Thank you. We'll see you again next year. Thank you so much.
See you next year. Thank you.
Thank you.